Hey, welcome everyone to another session in the Powersports Dealer Showcase series. Dave McMahon here. Glad you guys are spending some time with us. And as you can see, I have my longtime dealer friend here, Luke Johnson, joining us. Luke, man, I know you're not too far away here up in the Twin Cities, but we got to do something about this snow and cold for the bike dealers.
Man, it's high as zero tomorrow, so it's people. You got to get
Oh,
people extra excited when it's 0 degrees outside to sell some.
hopefully you're getting some heated gear sales and some hoodies moving off the shelves at least. Yeah,
Coffee.
what's up?
The coffee
What,
machine's getting a workout more than normal, so
right, exactly. No, appreciate you taking the time. Um, you've been in the dealership, man, since you were a kid with your dad, Justin, running the dealerships here in the Twin Cities. You're down at Twin Cities Harley-Davidson in Lakeville as a general manager. And I remember going back not too many years ago when I was handing you an award as a 40 under 40 recipient for the Powersports Business Awards. And yeah, so just talk a little bit about the state of being a GM at a Harley dealership now. I know you guys at the HDMC level with RD Stars coming on board. I've heard a lot of really great feedback from dealership GMs and dealer principals like yourself about the new management. If you just want to, yeah, give a little insight on what you're feeling there.
yeah, no, I'm very optimistic with the direction the company's headed. And obviously, I'm a younger guy. I'll be 29 here in a couple months, so I don't have the tribal knowledge of some of the other guys you probably talked to about seeing the multiple different CEOs and strategies. So I really just have had the experience under the previous regime that's on its way out. And
Right.
obviously there's some big changes that are happening in terms of viewing our relationship as more of a partnership versus competition, which I think is kind of the consensus feeling from everyone. And so uh I was at the dealer forum in Milwaukee,
Mhm.
and the first speech was great, and some of the changes and personnel changes on the leadership team that are being made, all signs are kind of pointing towards a way more conducive dealer OEM relationship, which is what we've all been wanting for the last couple of years. And I've heard nothing but great things so far. And
Yeah.
one of the things that I along with probably a lot of the other general managers and dealers is it's you know words talk is cheap. We want
Yep.
act, we want to see it. You can say all the right things, but we'll see if the actions actually follow the words. And I'm optimistic that it's going to, but um,
Exactly.
I think we're off to a good start. So got some
Yeah.
exciting product coming down the pipeline. I think 26 is going to be a lot better for all of us than the last couple of years have been. So
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree. It's just in talking to the Harley dealership owners and GMs like yourself, just have definitely a brighter outlook and positivity. And man, it was felt like it was desperate and dire there for a little bit. So sounds like we're turning the calendar into some into some hope and goodness
yeah,
for the Harley dealers.
so really just kind of going back to what makes the brand what it is. I mean, it's awesome to see Bill Davidson being, special position made for him to be in the
Yeah.
informant to the CEO or whatever that position, and just
Right. Yep.
really kind of going back to our roots, of what our customers want, and what makes our brand so awesome and special. It just seems like we're really going back to that, which is
Yeah,
good.
for sure. Also, it'd be good to see some bodies in the offices there on Juno. When
Yeah.
you get down there instead of
Yeah.
wondering where everybody's at. So that would
Yeah,
be cool
that's
too.
the messaging hasn't landed very well the last 5 years with all the work from home crap where people are lecturing us on how to properly run a dealership, and you can hear their dog in the background and the toilet flushing and all that stuff. So it's just not what you
That's
expect from corporate Fortune 500 executive leadership teams, if
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So
yep. This is a tale I've heard before too. So
yeah.
nothing new there. Yeah, just looking back. I know it's going to be zero tomorrow, but say 6 months ago or so when it was kind of peak season, what was going well? When you look back on the year, what were some of your guys, product highlights or some things that you can check off that really work for you?
Yeah, at our location here, we're gonna end up selling more bikes this year than we did in 2024,
Nice.
which is good. And
Sweet. Yeah.
yeah, our service department is growing this year over last year too,
Cool.
which is, also another good metric that I look at.
Yeah.
You know, but I guess some highlights. We're still obviously the new road glides and street glides that came out in 2024. I think that's still a lot of people this year still didn't know that those awesome changes were made to our two most popular bikes in
Sure.
2024. And so, we're still just familiarizing the market, getting everyone excited about all the awesome changes that came to market on our two most popular bikes.
Yeah.
And then obviously I'm super big into the pre-owned game. So
Hmm.
just we grew our pre-owned sales quite a bit this year too.
Nice.
Because my goal is always to have a Harley for anyone in any budget. Not everyone, especially people looking for that entry level or first bike, can swing a $30,000, $40,000 road glide or street glide. And so
Sure.
that doesn't, and so I
That's
want to still want to have an option for those people getting their feet wet into our world and our brand. So, the only way we can accomplish that is finding some good pre-owned stuff. So
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a cool mantra to have. That a bike for everybody. It just
yeah. Yeah, man, I don't care if you're in here spending 50, 60 grand on a CVO, if you're buying a 20-year-old Softail for 5 or 6 grand,
right.
it's the brand, and it's
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
want to treat everyone the exact same and give the same experience to everyone. So
That's awesome. Yeah. So from a pre-owned perspective, how easy or difficult has it been just to procure that inventory?
yeah, it's been a struggle, or it's been more of a struggle, I would say. Just there's lots of it's pretty competitive up here in the Twin Cities. There's
Hmm.
quite a bit. There's a lot of dealerships within a 90-minute drive from us, like about 10 of them actually.
Sure.
So
Yep.
kind we're all kind of fighting for the same marketplace and third party and auctions and all that stuff. So
Yep.
it's pretty competitive, and obviously everyone's preference is to acquire your pre-owned inventory via taking them on trade. And
Sure.
so making sure that we're not missing an opportunity to acquire trade when we're working deals with people. But
Yep.
it's you know it takes a lot of effort. It doesn't just fall out of the sky.
Exactly. Yeah,
You
I
need
know. I know
need
you
that.
guys have a strong reputation for that. Another thing you guys are really good at, just with your dealership staff and keeping people there, culture wise. What are some things you look back on 25 where at a staffing level where that you can say, hey, this was a success, or we implemented some new process or procedure to kind of keep your guys and gals there.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that the dealerships out, at least in the northern markets, from what I've heard, the recipe for success has just been running a little leaner than we normally are, because we still have to make some money and pay our bills regardless of
Sure.
other economic factors we can't control. And so
Yep.
that's been a really big focus of mine, with I feel like my main job as a general manager is to, make the company money and run a
Yep.
profitable, optimal business for the partners
Right.
and owners. And
Yep.
so a big piece of that for me was just finding your key players in every department, and really just and running lean,
Yep.
and finding one person that's capable of maybe doing the job and being responsible for what in the past we've had two people doing,
Okay. Sure.
a key person that is capable of handling more. And so I've just
Yep.
kind of identified our key players over this last year, and we're running with less staff than we have, but our customer service and experience hasn't faltered from that, just due to the quality of people that we've got. So I
Nice.
would
That's
say,
awesome.
yeah, I'd say that really finding the right people and
Yeah.
and and running lean has been kind of the recipe for the last couple of years for us.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, when you're looking at those standout type employees that you want to, make sure sticking with you and elevating the retail experience, what type of training, anything in particular training wise or developmental wise that you've been able to do to kind of elevate their experience?
Yeah, I always kind of say, and obviously my background is in the major unit sales department. I came up as a salesperson first. That was kind of, the avenue I traveled to this position. And
Sure.
I always say that the main things I look for in future new employees is, you obviously have to ride and have an interest in our brand specifically, because I always say our customers have a very sensitive BS sniffer when they're talking to people, and if you don't like Harleys and ride, they're probably not going to want to talk to you about maybe, buying a bike from you. So you have to ride and kind of live the lifestyle and have an interest in the brand. And then, you have to have a good personality, just be a good kind of good feeler, a good people person, someone that people aren't going to feel like you're just kind of that kind of greasy salesman feel. It's like
Right.
we're just, you know, Harley lover, bike riders, just kind of BSing about how cool our new bikes are on the showroom
Sure.
floor, you
Yeah.
know.
Awesome.
And then as long as you're good with obviously the retail schedule that comes with being in retail, and we're Saturdays are our game day and we're open
Yeah.
when we're off work during the week. And so, if you ride, if you love our brand, if you have a good personality and you're good at, BSing with people and you're good with the schedule, I feel like I can kind of equip you with the rest, with the
Yeah.
processes and the knowledge that it takes, because those three things are things I don't really think you can teach someone.
Sure. Yep. That's
So,
fair.
and so
Um,
they're,
yeah, have you so yeah, you're going to be turning 29 here, which is crazy to a lot of people, I'm sure, but have you brought on, do you see that younger guy who was like you? Do you have that, or have you had that type of person
yeah,
in your shop? Or
yeah, absolutely. That is really what kind of, gets me fired up, and what my favorite part about being in this position is the employee development
Okay,
side of
cool.
it. So I've got a few guys that work for me here right now that we actually have some internal movement happening within our company up here as we're speaking right now. And so
Okay.
I've got some guys that have worked with me for the last couple of years that are going to be rolling into their first management opportunities. And
Oh,
I've
fantastic.
spent the time with them the last couple of years, kind of grooming them and developing them to get them ready to capitalize on this opportunity. And so that's the most rewarding thing for me. When I was a sales manager 4 years ago, one of my sales guys came to me after he just knocked it out of the park for a pay period. Like, man, I've never made a paycheck like that in my life. Thank you for, training and everything. And that is a feeling that I just have not been able to replicate really anywhere else. That
Yep.
is really just what gets me fired up and why I
Yeah,
love it. So
yeah, that's fantastic. Congratulations on that, man. That's
yeah,
cool to hear that you're moving those guys up, and it's all not just for you and your guys' dealerships, but the industry at
yeah,
large, because you never know who's walking through those doors and who's going to be able to, buy a bike from you now and then from who else, 5, 10 years down the road. So, yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome. And man, one other thing that I want to bring up for sure is this 75 hard initiative that you undertook here in the last handful of months. So I was following you on Instagram, and man, yeah, just inspired by what you have going on there. I know you got a
yeah,
newborn baby, and you just have all this great success at the stores and stuff, and then you take on this super heavy time commitment of 75 hard. So just
yeah.
for a little background, tell folks what that's all about.
Yeah, it's basically it's 75 Hard is a mental toughness disciplinary program that entails working out twice a day for 45 minutes, and one of them has to be outside regardless of the weather. It's snowing, raining, whatever. So one of those
Right.
has to be outside, and you can't do them back to back. They have to be separate times of the day. You have to drink a gallon of water, follow a diet. You can't drink alcohol. You need to read 10 pages of a book a day, and then taking a progress picture every morning. And you have to do that for 75 days straight. And
Yep.
so um, it was a program that I've seen out there on a couple people that I know or watch online have done it, and they saw some pretty impressive results from that. And so I started that on September 11th this year. It was just, I'm kind of one of those weird people that want to have like to do hard, challenging things, just kind of push my limits.
Sure. Yeah.
I did a half Ironman race a couple years ago, and
Oh, nice. Yeah.
really just kind of trying to, push the limits. And,
See, see,
this was kind of that for me this year. I've got a 1-year-old daughter and another one on the way, and responsible for being a general manager at a dealership. I just think as I get more and more responsibilities on me myself, as I just have to build someone that's strong and capable to carry
yeah.
all the additional weight that's coming in my life. And so I feel like that was a good way for me to do that this year. And I lost about 25 pounds, and I
Unreal.
read 4 books and really and that's
Well,
more than I've read the last couple of years. And
right. We won't do a live poll here about how many dealers watching have read 4 books in the past year, but I assume
yeah,
not a
I
not a
wouldn't
ton.
have one of them. And so yeah, and it really just kind of opens your eyes to how much time you waste, because you think about all those tasks, you're like, oh my gosh, how do you have enough time in the day to do that?
Right.
Then you realize truly how much time you kind of waste mindlessly scrolling on your phone or watching
Sure.
TV or whatever.
Yep.
And so,
Yep.
and I was doing my outdoor workout after my pregnant fiance and 1-year-old daughter were going to bed. So
Okay.
I wasn't compromising my family time.
Right.
I was putting them to bed and then going out and putting my weight vest on and, taking a stroll through the neighborhood at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
So,
That's awesome.
and
Um,
it all translates into time management and just discipline into,
sure.
into what we do on a daily basis
Yeah.
too. I've viewed myself as a disciplined person even before doing that, because in order to have any type of success in a sales environment for an extended period of time, it kind of requires that, and dealing with lots of
Sure.
rejection and stuff that you don't love doing
Right.
that. But it's just the work that's required to get those results.
Yeah. Um, yeah, having done the half triathlon or half was it half Ironman?
The half Ironman, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you've done that, now you've done this. Um, what's the when you look at the 75 hard, the biggest benefit? So you finish it, and now it's been a month or two after. What's like the biggest change you've seen, or the biggest benefit you got out of it? Would you say?
Yeah, I would just say that, a lot of people are struggle with kind of um just the internal battle of, like, a lot of people know what they need to do to get them to where they want to go, but for whatever reason we can't do it consistently.
Sure. Yep.
And it's like, if you ask someone that wants to maybe lose some weight or make more money or do whatever, they know what they need to do to accomplish that, but for some reason we don't take that knowing what to do and putting it into like action for long enough to see those results.
Right.
So I would say that, that probably was
Yeah.
my biggest takeaway of, like, I don't think I've ever done anything that consistently for 75 days straight,
Sure. Yep.
proving to yourself that you're capable of, kind of kicking some old bad habits and implementing kind of a new standard for yourself,
Yeah. That's awesome. Fantastic. What
And
it,
it leaks over into every part of your life.
okay. Awesome.
Every part of your life gets better.
Yeah, that's beautiful. What as it went, into the months, what was there anything on a daily basis that I don't know, you started out dreading, but then it might have come easier as you did it?
Man, the hardest part for me was getting out and doing that at night.
Okay.
And because I guess my kind of daily routine, I wake up at like 5:30 because I want to get my first, and I still do this, but get my first workout in and exercise and get my day started before my fiance and my daughter wake up, because
Right.
once they're up, it's not
It's
about
all
me.
them. Yeah,
I'm I'm there to help them.
for
And
sure.
so I would get up and then come to work, and we're open from, the dealerships are open from 9 to 6, 9 to 7, and I get home, and obviously I want to spend time with my family because that's the most important thing to me. And so I'm not obviously not going to just get home and be like, oh, I got to go take off for an hour, do this other work
Exactly.
because of this program. So it
Yeah.
was absolutely the most challenging part was, at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night after my family's in bed, realizing that I still had a whole nother 45 minutes of pain to go right itself. So
Yeah.
that was definitely the most challenging part for me. But
Right.
the most rewarding,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
when you do
Uh,
something that you don't want to do, it just the reward at the end of that is
Yeah.
that's what it's all about.
So it sounds like if other dealers have heard of it or thinking about it, it sounds like you would highly recommend giving it 75 hard a go.
Yeah, I mean, if you're someone like me that likes to, push your limits and torture yourself a little bit and see what you're capable of, and if you're, for me, I just felt like that was something kind of my, pursuing the best I can possibly be. That was something I needed to prove to myself I could do. And so
Yeah.
if that sounds like something, if that's other dealers out there feel like that's something that they align with, then I absolutely would recommend doing it. So
No, that's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, just doing that personally, the other people around you who have benefited from you having done that is
Yeah. Yeah. I
probably
mean,
probably countless as well.
yeah, I feel like that, running a business and being a dad and a family guy and stuff, it's like you just being in that position, you have a lot of people that kind of look to you to set the standard, and I think one of our responsibilities as general managers is to really set the standard for the people that you work with. And so, because everything starts at the top and ripples down. So, I felt like if everyone's seeing that, this is what the boss is doing,
Yep.
that no one can ever, you know, the thought will never really creep into their mind that like the boss isn't out there putting in the work and,
Exactly.
pursuing, becoming the best he can be. So
That's awesome. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, and just to wrap up, let's bring out the crystal ball. We're coming into the holidays here and going to be turning the calendar into 2026. What are some things that you hope to specifically at the dealership, some goals or what you foresee product wise and sales wise in 26?
yeah, well, obviously I'm really optimistic about the new product that Harley is teasing at right now that I was able to see, and it's just what the doctor ordered for us.
Cool. Awesome.
Really excited about that. Really excited about the messaging coming from the motor company about the manufacturer dealer relationship and understanding the importance of driving traffic into the stores and getting customers to walk in here, and I really feel like the new CEO is understanding that, the depth of the importance of getting people to walk into our dealership so we have a chance to show them our cool new product. So I'm really optimistic and excited about that.
Right.
Um, and really my expectations are just that 2026 is going to be significantly better than the last couple of years have been. When you combine that along with a little bit of relief coming economically, I mean, one of the things that in our market up here in the Twin Cities is, it's a very financially astute market. So when interest rates are a little higher than normal and inflation, that really kind of people notice that up here.
For sure. Yep.
Obviously, it's a little harder to get them to pull their wallets out with that disposable income, which is the business that we're in at the end of the day.
Yep. Exactly.
So I think you combine those three things, along with I feel like we have an exceptional management team and staff here that I just really think that it's lined up to really get back to, being a being a
Yeah.
really profitable, exciting year to be in the business here. So
Well, cool. That's no better way to wrap this one up than with that type of positive outlook. Not surprising come from somebody like yourself, Luke. So appreciate you taking the time, and yeah, congratulations on all your accomplishments with being still in your 20s and doing all what you do is a real testament to your dedication and leadership. And man, just keep it up and keep doing what you do. Appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, man, it's always good chatting with you. Appreciate
You
you having.
too. Appreciate it. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you too.
Appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, sounds good.
Okay. Thanks.